I'd like to thank someone that probably no one will even know who I'm talking about, called Rick Schaefer. Oh, I thought it might have been too loud. Hold on. Music can go up, don't worry. Speaking of music, yeah, this was done by Mr. Rick Schaefer. He's composed music for a lot of games. I don't have his thing on hand to list you the games. The one that is of importance was Vampires the Masquerade Bloodlines. He composed all the original scoring for it, which is what we're listening to tonight. I was lucky enough to speak to Rick a few times, and he gave me permission to use all of his awesome music. So we'll be using that tonight a fair bit. We might even be able to sneak in a few other songs though once we're in. I swear they don't mute you after a certain point. Alright, we can't reset now. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna trip you out, right? You hear this theme right here. A lot of people are like, oh, that's Massive Attack. That's from. This is an alternate version that was done by Rick for. It was inspired by Massive Attack's song Angel, but this is actually composed by Rick. So if Twitch tries to mute me on this one, I can actually claim back against them. Be like, look buddies. Look buddies. Alright. Now the first thing, I can hear this dog barking. It sounds like it's being beaten down the road. That makes me real angry. To go save it. Give me, I just have to align that a little bit better. Now what we're actually going to do is we're going to put it on this side. So I'm going to move chat over to the right. Let's chat here. Right. I know the stat sheet's windy big, but it's fine. And it's alright to be blurry because I'll be reading out the majority of it. It's just so you can see what I'm working on, what I'm working with. But this is how a new vampire is born and raised and made. Now, we can actually make that smaller, which I think is a great idea. Folks. Now when we're actually playing the game, we'll have different a different way of displaying the character sheets, but this is just for now while I'm working on them. Now what you can't see is I have a big list of beautiful lined paperwork of Camarilla, which I'll get to explain in a sec. Ready to go to create. So we are going to be making some characters tonight, some loose history. We'll be looking for some images of people to reference. We won't be using those images in the end result to, you know, but we'll use them for a bit of a reference, and then I'll get some sketches done. I know a lot of people are going to come in like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Alright, so I'm just getting my layout. Once again, all set. Now, I do enjoy... Dude, that's a dang title. Thank you so much, my fucking fellow kindred Scotty Scott. Now, one of my mods is here helping me. This is the first time doing this, so he's helping me. That title, though, wow. So, yeah, I'm happy to announce this is our first behind the game, pre-game World of Darkness. I've got a few friends that have played before, as well as a friend of mine who also streams here on Twitch. His name is Mr. Scotty Scott. He is going to be joining our sessions. So, that being said, we've got some new blood coming to the crew. I'll be running the story. I'll be running the storytelling. So I've chosen Vampire as the initial game that we're going to be running. After the lads have had a few games of Vampire and they've got their feet wet, we'll introduce Werewolf, because I have a version 2 of Werewolf to show off very soon. But I need to spend some time getting to know the book and the changes and stuff. But I've done that with Vampire. I've got to know it very well. I knew the old Requiem very well. I knew the old Masquerade very well. I saw the source material that came out that basically made it so you could, if you wanted to, you could go back and bring some aspects from Requiem back to Masquerade, or you could bring stuff from Masquerade into Requiem, which I thought was great. And with what Onyx Path have done with the new Requiem, fucking host talk. I'm ready for it. It doesn't give me a heart attack anymore. It makes me excited. Scotty Scott, thank you very much for hosting my stream. Speak of the Devil, that's the man right there that I was referring to before. He's going to be joining in on these World of Darkness games. Now some of you might go, oh, this is spoilers. Well, see, the thing is, because we're playing Requiem, there's no metagame per se in Requiem. That's the beauty. There's story hooks, there's characters. It's really the players that will develop their own metagame via the consequences of the actions that they do. So Scotty Scott being here while I'm creating stuff isn't really a spoil for him. In fact, it's good because he gets a bit of a process into what goes down into creating a character, as well as some terminology that he'll get used to hearing that vampires throw around and stuff, titles and shit like that. The main precedent, sorry, there's going to be a bit of talking here before I start, but the main precedent for I should. Okay, hold on. I need to shut this window behind me. It's getting a bit windy. but I need to bring my mic forward a little bit. I need to get a new mic, in fact. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I need to get a new mic. What I can do though, in the meantime, is just quickly go down, advanced. Where's my fucking lighter? Alright, what about now, Scotty? Are we doing alright? I haven't lost my train of thought either. So I'm just making sure that we've got good audio levels. But yeah, as I was saying, our city that we've chosen, or I've chosen as the storyteller, is going to be Albuquerque and the region of New Mexico down to Texas and Mexico itself, the borderline. I think it's going to make a great setting for darkness. It's going to be set in now times, one day age. We've tweaked things a bit, so it's a bit more like hectic than WoD is, which, you know, it's pretty hectic over there already. The main thing is you've got, with the city itself, you've got the Camarilla law, which is what I'm going to be building tonight, the agents and the representatives of said Camarilla. And then outside the city, between the border to the south, you've got the Carthians that have set up there. And there's a bit of a futile, or sort of tentative, I think that's what, a tentative alliance between the Carthians and the Camarilla in the city, where they sort of help each other out. Like the Carthians keep shit outside the city that shouldn't be there, and act as a bit of a wall themselves, as well as, you know, have got their own sort of area in the city and are kind of recognised in the city with a bit of, I wouldn't say respect, but room to at least walk around without a beat down. But no, the Camarilla definitely rule the roost of the city, and they're bound by the Invictus. So personally, there'll be a bit of friction between those two covenants, which I've really geared up to be like left wing, right wing sort of factions. And it'll be up to the players as to if they want to ally with either of them, or if they just want to cause chaos between them. You know, it's up to them, as I said, once they delve deep into that world. Other than that, you've got a wide mix of the covenants, unlike some other cities and stuff. So all of the covenants have a sort of face or a voice there in the city or around the city, because the way the pact works between the outside and the inside of the city. So between that, you've got the covenants quite widespread, so it's a good place for vampire or / kindred, as they like to be called, to choose a covenant. But there's definitely a heavy presence of the main chaos sanctum, because of the old church stuff that went down in real history there. So I've actually done my research on Albuquerque and how it was founded and etc. So there's a lot of really don't even want to say juicy, I want to say like important parts of history that I saw, that I could just add that little bit of world darkness to it, and it was perfect, you know. So from there, yeah, I've managed to draw a lot of the fractal lines of the covenants, which I'll go into deeper later, but there's a few of them tonight which are obviously part of the Camarilla side, which will be created. But yeah, overall